Hello and welcome to Trails Through Trails, the podcast where we play through the long-running Trails series, one chapter at a time, except usually it's not one chapter at a time. Lately it has been, but today it's a third of a chapter at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Lex, and I use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Matt, I use he, him.
And today we're talking about the second part of Chapter 8 of Trails in the Sky, second chapter. I feel like every episode we make some joke about how we can't wait until we have, easier titles for the games to, rattle off.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a staple of the show at this point.
Yeah, this one is another meaty chapter.
It is.
Not really for story reasons so much, it's just, it truly is the mission statement of the Trails series that they give us what we want, full world exploration, and then stab us in the side by not having fast travel.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself while playing this section, because we're going to get to a couple of side quests that require so much backtracking.
Yep.
Can you imagine playing the original release of this game without turbo mode? It would be insane.
No, I truly can't.
My God.
I've played a lot of games that, when I go back to them, I'm like, how did I ever muddle through it? So I think we just, had lower standards back then. Or we had, more, persistence as humans. We're now, we're all iPad babies now. Where we have no patience anymore, maybe. Maybe it's on us. But yeah, I couldn't have handled it. I even made it worse for myself because I'll get to that when we start the actual episode, but I made it worse for myself with a long trick I didn't have to take that I did for fishing reasons. We'll see. We'll get to that.
Oh, no. I'm so glad I avoided that. Truly a wild choice. We walked the entire kingdom last game, and that was fine because it took 4 chapters or so. This time, they're like, hey, do you want to just, hike back to pick up an item and then run all the way back again?
Oh my God, that one is so obnoxious.
I do, but I didn't like it. I think the issue is, our brains are fully cooked at this age, whereas as a child, when you were like, okay, it's time to grind, you could just put your brain in power saving mode, and we don't have that option anymore.
Yeah.
Because when you put it in power saving mode, the thoughts come in.
This is true.
All the thoughts.
Also, what else were you going to be doing as a kid, right? Homework? This is better, even if you're just grinding. Whereas now, it's still better than work, but, there's bigger stakes to, not doing your job than there are to not doing your homework.
I used to spend days at a time just sitting with my Game Boy and playing Kirby's Dream Land front to back over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I've played so many games for so many hours. Hell, even when I was, sick with COVID and, I wasn't able to do anything, I've got 800 hours in Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah, without COVID, we wouldn't have this podcast. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God. That's weird.
So, here's the name for the episode. Thanks, COVID.
Oh my God. No, I refuse. This is where we draw the line. I can have step where I'm stuck in the bracers, but I can't have thank you, COVID. What? It sounds like an Ariana Grande song. We can put it in thank you, COVID. I'm so fucking grateful for my horrible disease and global pandemic.
For my permanent side effects. Woo! I love to cough more than ever before. Ha ha ha. Again, apologies to anyone listening to the last episode for my incredibly croaky voice.
Yeah, I love to get ground glass nodes in my lungs and have 2 years in treatment at the hospital. That was fun.
Woo!
Messy.
Yikes.
I'm luckier than a lot of people. I'm almost all better now.
Woof.
Oof, that got serious real fast.
It has been a week. What have you been up to in the week that has been?
I've been sick a lot this week. Speaking of sick, it was one of those weeks where I would get up and be like, okay, I'm gonna go to work, and I'd take my Tylenol cold, and I'd go to the office, and I'd muddle through, and then the Tylenol cold would fade, and I would be dead on the floor, and everyone in my office would be like, go home. Why did you even come? You're not well enough for this. So I had to leave work early a few times and took a whole day off, and that didn't make it so that I was fine the next day, unfortunately. You always hope it will. Yeah. But I did play some video games.
Nice.
At the beginning and end of the week. When in the middle of the week, I was too sick to even game. I played The Seance of Blake Manor, which was fantastic. Oh, yeah. It was also, so I bought the game because everyone was speaking really highly of it. Didn't realize it was going to be in first person.
Oh, okay.
And because I think of it's kind of a first person point and click detective story.
Yeah.
Because of the art style, I think being a little more, very 2D, I was kind of able to get, I get bad motion sickness from first-person games a lot, so I did definitely have some discomfort, but it was such a fantastic game, and I was able to push through the discomfort because it wasn't too severe for this, and it's one of my favorite games this year. It's so good. It's on my GOTY list.
Wow.
It's not beating out the top 2 spots, but it might be a contender for third. Like it's very high up
Nice.
there. It was really fantastic. Really one of those games where, I mean, there's a lot of great things about it mechanically, but it's set in Ireland in like 1897 maybe, and it really uses that setting, like the history of colonialism from England and Ireland and the conquest of Ireland and the way folk religions and polytheism were kind of chased out of Ireland by like Christian, whatever's, and like takes all that lore and mythology and the different like it really uses the setting and location. Like, it's not just set dressing of like, let's have Irish accents. That's one fun thing they do is that because everything's voice acted, there's a lot of stuff about like the class relations that you get just from noticing who is an Irish accent and who is an English accent. Like, there's so much like richness you can get out of like the class dynamics and the history and the like, who's Protestant and who's Catholic, you can tell just from the accents, because in Ireland at that time, that's how it would have worked. The English were Protestants and they were in higher positions in class and society in Ireland, and the Irish were very much second-class citizens for the most part, and they were Catholic. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it.
I've been seeing bits and pieces of cover of it all over from the voices I trust. Not to sound sort of keeping the love inside the house, but a number of TWG folks have been putting stuff out there about this game. I know Matt Horton's got something up on his channel, and I believe Brendan did some cover as well.
I think he did. And then Girl Mode had an episode, not the most recent one, but the one before. I think it was called Girls' Night at Blake Manor, which is a great title.
Nice.
They were very insistent that it should have been called Seance at Blake Manor and not Seance of Blake Manor. And they're probably right, but I like the way of sounds, so I'm not going to fight it. But they're probably grammatically right.
It does flow, yeah.
It does.
I'll have to check it out. Is it on consoles at this stage, or is it still a PC thing? Bad comes to worse, I can steal my housemate's Steam Deck, as I have an open invitation to do, and play it. I need to play mouthwashing that way at some point as well.
No, it's on it's only Windows and Linux. But yeah, I played it on Steam Deck and that was perfectly fine. So if you're stealing a Steam Deck, go for it.
Ooh. Yeah, it's very funny sitting on the couch here in the house and with my Switch having to push aside the almost identical Steam Deck so that I can play my Switch.
I love that.
But yeah, this week I've been bouncing around between a few games.
Yes.
I've got a review underway, which, yes, this episode will be posted after that goes live. So I'm reviewing Kirby Air Riders at the moment. I haven't had it for very long. I am not a person who played the original, so I don't have a frame of reference for this. I'm sort of learning it on the fly. I try not to be negative in my reviews, but I'm having trouble locking in on this game at the moment. It sounds mean, but I don't see what's fun about it. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair. I think that's super fair if it doesn't work for you.
I haven't found it yet.
Whether it's because it's bad or because it's not for you, I think it's fine.
Yeah, maybe there's some elements of this game that I haven't gotten to. There's so many modes, I'm still sort of dabbling in all of them to try and figure out what's going on out there. I love the vehicle customization, that stuff's great, but that's really not what the game is all about. It's just an adjustment, and I'm figuring out what I like, what I don't like. There's something in there. I'm looking for it. Time will tell what my final review score is, because I'm the Silver Linings guy. I have to find something, because I believe that is what is genuine in reviewing, to not just lock in on the positive or the negative. You need to touch on both. So we will see what that looks like for Kirby Air Riders. The menus are very Smash-coded, so thanks for that, Sakurai.
Ah, yes.
That can't be it. There's got to be more.
Fair.
But Kirby's also smiling on the cover for the English language releases, which is maybe a first, or at least a very rare rarity for Kirby games, not to make him angry for the English releases. You see, all these covers, they're all identical, except they've just changed him from like a happy, smiley little Kirby to like angry eyebrows Kirby.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah. It's like identical box art. It's crazy.
I've like never played any Kirby games, I don't think, so I wouldn't know this. I think I have like when I was younger, but I have not played any since I developed like my frontal lobe.
I did love all the Kirby games, so I never touched on this or some of the other sort of edge case games. But yeah, I'm learning and growing and coming to understand. I also finally finished Outer Worlds 2, which I reviewed a little while ago. I'd been holding off on finishing it because I'd had a couple of game bugs. You know, pretty typical for an open world RPG like this. Like I had a companion that I mentioned I got locked out of without realizing. Another companion's like loyalty quest that unlocks their higher tier abilities. The person who was meant to be there just never was, so I had to miss that one. And then I played out the ending, and it was interesting. Like the original Outer Worlds, there's no continuation after the end game, so the end is the end.
All right.
Assumably they'll have DLC that'll, come back to your point of no return and sort of try new stuff from there. The only thing I found frustrating is by the end game, you hit the level cap, and it's very difficult to have max skill in anything. You really have to lock in with the number of points you get. There is a perk you can take early on that like doubles the number of skill points you get each level up in exchange for a trade-off. I can't remember what it was. Maybe less health or something. I didn't take that, not realizing how important it would be. And so when I got to the end game and there are all these like skill check 15s or 17 or 20 for a couple at the very, very end, like if you didn't know those were the skills you needed 20 for this one skill check in the end game, you're screwed. Like you can still get a good ending. It feels a little limiting the closer you get to the end of the game and the more of these unpassable skill checks you hit.
That's frustrating.
Because, like, even the original Outer Worlds, they had a thing where, like, gear that you were equipping could give a bonus to your skills. Like, it'd have, armor, but then also +5 lockpick or whatever. And they don't have that in the sequel, so...
Oh, that's frustrating.
There is no way, there's no, like, consumables, there's no apparel, there's no, like, weapon mods or anything you can get that up those skill checks.
That's sad.
Which, yeah, it's a bit annoying. Because you do hit a point where, like, 14 becomes, like, the hard check.
Ooh.
And it's like, sorry, you spec'd the wrong way, and there's no respecking, so you're done.
Oh, really? No respecking?
No respecking, yeah.
Oh, that's really rough.
I do hope that gets added as some sort of quality of life or with the DLCs or something, because obviously when they roll out DLC, it'll up the level cap and stuff as well. It was strange because it was so much easier to kind of be malleable in the original, to kind of, just like tweak what you invested in. I think they even had consumables that would temporarily up stats, though I might be confusing that with Fallout at that point. The ending was very interesting and definitely sets the stage for either DLC or a sequel, so I'm curious about that.
Time will tell, I guess.
But yeah, there's also no New Game Plus or anything, so I will just hold off and see what rolls out in the future for the game to circle back to it. Because there's some stuff I haven't finished and all that, but yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a game we've both been playing.
Yes, there is. There is a game that we've both been playing for differing amounts of time, which is releasing by the time this episode comes out. Demonschool.
So I got a code for this before the delay was announced. So I have been playing it for a lot longer than Matt, but I did hit a bug, I think because they were pushing builds, probably the kind of builds that you wouldn't push if you were like expecting everyone to be playing and reviewing. And I did have some things that were temporarily game breaking that have now been patched. One thing hasn't, that I think it's just that I would have to start a new file for this, but it's an aesthetic thing. It's you end up with a room at one point that you your characters have a little clean it up, and then you can like change the decor of it, and anytime I try to change the decor it crashes. But it also, like, the cleaning up, like, that only works in cutscenes for me. But, like, that's cosmetic, so it's not a big deal. Yeah. The game works fine.
Yeah, and it does seem like they were reworking a lot of stuff from the ground up with the delayed release date. They mentioned, no sort of new mechanics be introduced. They expanded stuff like the romance cutscenes and stuff like that, and a lot of, like, visual and... And
I am concerned that I should be starting a new file to see, because I don't know how much of that is going to be on the old files or not, but I might just have to play it twice. True. It's not the end of the world. It's a good game.
Oh, no. Yeah, so I have not had as much time with it. Lex was playing on PC, which I cannot do.
Steam Deck, specifically, for anyone who has a Steam Deck, it plays very well there.
Perfect. I was waiting for a Switch code, and I live in Australia, so of course there was a hold up on Switch codes, because that's just what happens to us. So I've only had access to the game for a few days now, but I have played a little bit. So yeah, I've only sort of played the initial segment of the game. You end up on an island at a school, and you're hunting demons.
So what's amazing about it is the very first scene, you're playing as a character who's, like, on the boat the school is on, like, a pretty remote island. There's, like, a ferry you have to take. They're going to university, which is fun, because often these are high school, this kind of game is set for high school kids, so it's fun that they're in college.
Yeah.
But your character goes to try and make a first friend, and the first thing she says is, like, the apocalypse is coming, and it's starting on this island. Demons are real, and they're coming for all of us. And the character's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Don't wait for me. This is great. Bye.
Yeah, she's great.
And you have no social skills whatsoever. Like, you're right about the demons, but you can't blame anyone for not believing you, because the way you come on is horrible. Yeah, you get to this island where you're going to university, and it's very clear that there's some suspicious shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
And that you're right about there being demons of some kind, demon things happening here, and you're fighting them. And you keep getting weird assignments for school involving demon shit by a professor who gives no explanations.
Yeah.
Like, it's really fun mechanically, but it's also really funny writing.
I also love the visual style. It's this sort of isometric pixel art that is so detailed and so beautiful.
It is so good.
All of these little, like, it's similar to Persona 3 Portable in structure in that you've got these all little mini areas that you can actually run around in this one. It's not all menu based like P3P.
Yeah, you can run around.
Yeah, you sort of just warp from little like pre-built map to pre-built map. But they're all so like richly detailed and unique. You don't get that feeling of like stamped pixel art.
Yeah.
You know, like the trees in Pokemon or whatever. But so much detail, so much going on in the background. Everyone on this island is weird.
So weird.
And hot.
Yes.
Weird and hot.
And I'm pretty sure that you can be gay on account of it keeps letting me flirt with girls and girls keep hitting on me too. Playing as a girl. So I do like that it's queer. I've also met a genderqueer character. He's they, them pronouns already. So that's all very nice to see.
Love it.
It's set in the 90s. So they're like, you have to go to like the computer lab to dial up internet, I think. So they're not, internet exists, but like it's the fact that you can't really communicate that well off island is not a weird plot point. It's just like most people are using the internet anyway. It's like 92.
Yeah.
So it takes a while for people to notice that something weird's happening on this little isle.
And something weird is certainly happening. Like, from day one, you're running around doing weird shit. Like, your first school assignment is go find this cursed tape that kills you.
Or you're probably going to jail or failing. How? No explanation why we're able to do that. We just can. The dean is definitely suspicious, and you can't seem to talk to the dean no matter what. There's all these gangsters who keep, like, summoning demons and fighting you. Like, it's very funny and very strange.
The combat system is also really interesting.
I've never played anything like it before. It takes a minute to wrap your mind around because it's kind of a mix between tactical combat and like a puzzle thing. Yeah. And it's easy to find yourself thinking there's like one perfect solution you need to find. And that's not been my experience, especially as more customization options open.
Okay.
But the way characters move around the screen, like as they fight, like the positioning, one character, for example, when they fight an enemy, they go to the other side of the enemy and shove them a spot backwards or diagonally back or whatever. Another character always pushes them like a spot further. So the more you can figure out how like positioning and movement works, the more you can like take advantage of that.
Yeah, so for reference, the combat, it's sort of structured like Mega Man Battle Network. It's sort of a grid of sort of occupiable spaces where you have your end on one side and the enemy's end on the other. The difference here is you have to basically beat a quota of enemies who will just kind of keep replenishing as the turns go on. The thing I do like about this is it's not sort of turn by turn or live action the way that Mega Man was. You're sort of queuing up all of your party's moves together and then executing them in one go.
Yeah.
And then the enemies sort of take their turn and do the same. You have to kill enough enemies to light up their end of the thing so you can send someone to that end to seal the remaining enemies or the battle. And a lot of it is about, positioning and angles to line up multiple enemies so you can knock them into each other and like 1-2 combo the different abilities.
One of the fun things about the turn-based structure is that because you're setting up all your moves before you execute them, within a turn, anytime you move, you can back up as much as you want all the way to the beginning of the turn. If you set up some moves and realize it doesn't go well, like you are planning out like a whole gambit kind of thing before you actually hit play. And then once you're sure that you've got everything working the way you want it to, you hit play and you get to watch the dominoes fall.
Yeah, it's very cool. And like I've only played with 3 different characters so far, but the initial 2, so main character Faye is offensive.
Also Faye with pink hair, just like in Trails. Faye with pink hair.
Oh, it's the same woman.
The goddess of the underground is our main character here in Plato's Cave of Hades.
She needed something to do while all the orbments are down. So Faye is sort of your physical attacker. She loves to kick. Namako, the girl she was bothering on the boat, is non-attacker, but she can weaken enemies. So you can sort of weaken a line of enemies by pulling them closer with Namako and then smack them all down with Faye. And
she can attack them, but not as easily because only enemies that are weak to her element actually take damage from her. But she does get a very cool AoE attack later on, which is great. Oh, the 8 squares around thing? Yeah, which is very convenient when you got a big pile. Yeah, because you can also, you charge up, I guess, as you take down enemies, and each character has a unique special they can do. So might be something that adds variety to their moveset.
So I'm really enjoying it. I'm definitely going to go more into it. I literally have not had time to get any further than I have.
Yeah, you just got it. And you had this to play.
And the puzzle element of the combat is, I'm still wrapping my head around it. I feel like it's one of those things where it is a puzzle, and I'm sure there's multiple solutions, as you said, but you have to kind of align your brain to the logic of the puzzle first.
Yeah, you do to a certain extent. Like, you can very much muddle your way through and not do it properly. I restart battles constantly because they are very fast paced, and they are like, I'll often be like, oh, I could have done that better, and that becomes part of what's addictive about it. It's like playing Tetris again. Like, oh, I'll do another one, I can go further. Like, there becomes something addictive about figuring it out.
And the game is not forgiving within the turn, but forgiving within the combat overall. You can do those rewinds within a turn. You can't rewind back a turn if you let the enemy go. But if you get to kind of a you're fucked moment, the game does pop up a thing saying like, hey, you can't win anymore. I was in a fight in the graveyard in the game where you've just had a healer person join your party, and I had the fight go very, very badly. And everyone died except for him, and the game was just like, hey, you can't heal your way out of this. Do you want to restart the battle? Which I did a couple of times.
I didn't know I did that. That's nice.
Because I'm stupid, I think. I think I'm stupid for these puzzles. It's going to lock in eventually, just like Kirby.
It will lock for you.
The whole thing is, like, the reason it's so attractive to repeat a battle and try and do it better is that you do get graded because this is school. If you hit within the turn count the game recommends, you get perfect score, and then you get a lesser score for taking longer. So you're not actually being penalized for not being perfect at the puzzles, but you're not being patted on the head as much as you could be, and that's where they get you.
Yep, and I have no idea if your grades are ever going to matter, or if it's just like, like, you know, like at the end of a Fire Emblem battle when you get like a rating or something for how good you did. Like, I have no idea if there's if it means anything beyond like, oh, you did well or you didn't do so well. But I like to be patted on the head, so I have refused to progress unless I have a perfect score in a battle, which has meant there was one boss fight I spent like 2 hours doing because I couldn't figure out the gimmick. Oh, wow. And eventually I figured out the gimmick, and I was like, oh, I was very stupid, and I didn't realize I was just supposed to hit it. I kept trying to find a gimmick, and no, it's just that you don't do much damage, you just have to keep hitting it. But I kept spending hours trying to find a gimmick that worked, and it didn't have one. So I like getting my perfect points.
Who doesn't? That would be truly devastating if, like, at the end credits of the game, they just put up a screen. It's like, here is every grade you received in the game. A, B, B, F, 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 F. Because that would be my scorecard.
If one of the endings is you failed out of school, and so you got a bad ending, even though you saved the world.
Demon dropout.
The other thing that's fun is that the way the calendar works is, like, there is a calendar system, but it times it as how many weeks until the apocalypse.
Yes.
And you don't know what that's gonna be, but so I'm at like 7 weeks or 6 weeks until the apocalypse now, and it's just fun how it counts down.
And I got all of the visual flair in this game is amazing. Even just the transitions. Each day has sort of a morning, afternoon, evening component, so they shift the lighting and people will move around in different maps and areas and stuff like that. But all of the transitions, it's just like stuff swishing into the screen. It does feel very Persona in that it is like visual maxing, I guess. It's like the coolest it can possibly look.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that every time there's a transition in the top left of my screen, it just says Demonschool, just in case I forgot. I didn't. I'm having a great time.
It's so fun.
It runs great on Switch, which I'm playing it on as well. I look forward to playing more. I can't wait till the thing clicks in my brain so I fully understand this combat and can kind of not just beat my head against it, but actually like use my head against it.
Yeah.
That may entail waiting for full release and walkthroughs to come out, just so I can look at a couple of battle solutions and be like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah, there have been some times where I've been like, man, I wish I could look up a guide, like some suggestions for, you know, once I got some customization stuff, I was like, man, I wish I could see like what people suggest putting on, like what skills to learn first and who to put them on, because you get skills that you can study. It's actually very funny because you have to pair up characters to study a new skill, and you get like a little vignette light of the characters being like, you know, Faye actually finished her homework on time, but forgot to put her name on it. And then you manage to unlock the skill, but the characters need 2 days to rest from doing the homework, so they can't study something else right away. But you get a little scene, or like Newt, you know, his chair made a weird sound, and Mercy tried to help cover it up, but it just made everyone think he farted. Like, it's just little silly little things as they study. It's very cute.
Love that. Yeah, I can't wait to get more into this game. And yes, the thing about wanting to know, like, how do I play this better? Why is there nothing to search yet? Is the reviewer's dilemma.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Demonschool, which was developed by Necrosoft Games and published by Isbrid. So thank you to the folks over there for sending us some review copies of this. We appreciate it. We do seem to be exclusively reviewing queer demon games. So let's keep that train going.
This is a really good brand to have, honestly. That's a really good brand. That's what I'm about. Queer demon games.
Gay and evil, that's what we're here to be. So Demonschool is releasing on PC and consoles on the 20th of November, so make sure to check it out. I believe they mentioned there's also an initial discount when the game releases, so if you snap it quick, you'll get it at a lower price.
I can't wait for everyone to be playing this game and like talking about it on social media, because I have so many funny screenshots that I haven't been able to share anywhere, but I keep screenshotting because the dialogue is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm loving it, and it has like flavors of all the games that people love. It's Persona, Shin Megami, Mega Man Battle Network, Fire Emblem for the tactics a little bit.
Yes.
Dating sim.
Yeah.
Great. Love it.
It's so good.
Demonschool. Check it out. But now that we've been to our Demonschool, should we go to our hell world where the microwaves don't work and everyone's sad about it?
Yes. Let's do it.
This isn't good.
I wonder if they even have microwaves yet in Zemuria. They might not have figured that out yet. They might just have orbital stoves.
They definitely have ovens, because I had a couple of people complaining about their ovens not working, but I don't know.
But ovens are long predate the microwave, I think, in terms of the history of inventions. We'll have to find out.
The timescale for invention on this planet is truly bizarre, though.
This is true.
But yes, when we last left our good friends, the Braces, we were waiting to walk into the region of Zeiss.
Yes, we were.
On our road trip around the country. We've already done Bose and Rouen.
We were, but then I turned around and walked in the opposite direction. This is where I have to interject with my horrible, horrible trek. So first I went back and got Tita's S-Craft that I had forgotten about, so I went back there. And then I was like, oh shit, you know what?
Oh yeah.
I need to go and get that stupid fish. That stupid final fish, because otherwise I can't get the dialogue in Grancel for the master fishing thing, which will make more sense once we get back to Grancel in the next part of the next chapter as to why I wouldn't have been able to do that. So if I want to go find out what happens there, because I didn't remember, and I was like, I should report on that for the pod if it's interesting. Spoiler, it wasn't. I need to march all the way back to Valyria Lakeshore from where I was, catch this stupid fucking fish that's really hard to catch because the timing on it is just like impossible. I basically got it by just button mashing, and eventually like what it would hit, I would get it at the same time that I was pushing it, and then I marched all the way back. So that was horrible. But Lloyd did come out and go, oh my god, you caught it, you're a master fisher. I got a card that says I'm a master fisher. He called me comrade. We're now like in the communist revolution of fish or something, I guess.
And your grand reward is that you can buy worms off him.
Or not even off him. I have to go all the way to Grancel to buy worms. Gosh. The fish is called the Dinotrad. It's a guardian of the lake. It was a very dramatic scene that not much point, except that I'm completionist, and I want to report back to you, dear listener. So I caught the stupid fish, and then I had to walk all the way through Crone Pass again, and then all the way back down to Air Latin, and I had to wait for the boat again, and man.
Yeah, again, thank God for Turbo.
But I had to go back because I needed to catch a fish in Rouen before I could catch the other thing, so alas.
What a pain. I'm so glad that I don't have trophies in this game, and I don't have to care about that.
The worst thing is I already have the trophy for it for my last playthrough. I just did it because I'm obsessive, I guess. I'm like weird like that. Not worth it this time, but I did it anyway.
Obsessive fishing disorder. There's no known treatment. Apparently, because this is a rampant disease in the world of Zemuria. Everyone's like fish crazy.
It's true.
Oh, well, I'm so happy you did that, and I'm sorry it happened to you.
Thank you very much. I'm still struggling with it, but you know, every day I push forward.
Respect.
And make it through this hard time.
Solidarity fist, yeah.
Thank you.
So anyway, as you sort of return to stand next to me at the mouth of Chaldea Tunnel, we're ready to enter the region of Zeiss.
We are.
I do like this little segment in the tunnel. It's only quite short. Because the power's out, the lights are out. So it's very dark in here. Which means we once again get to use our night goggle accessories that turn us into like dark vision mode. I love it how it's like all green tinted, like you're actually wearing night vision goggles. Also, I love that I had cloak equipped, so I didn't have to fight a single goddamn thing in this entire tunnel until I chose to.
Yes.
Which was right at the end of the tunnel. You can find in the last little, I think it's the last little diversion before you hit the Zeiss Central Factory.
Yes.
Off to the side, just innocuously, is a divine penguin who was the boss we fought last game.
I think this was the boss we fought this game who would replace the king penguin or something.
Right, yes, that's it.
The penguin hierarchy is difficult and constantly changing.
Yeah, and I do love the little caption you get under the Divine Penguin this time around. It says, "A rare penguin turned monster got lost in the tunnels after being afraid of the dark."
Mm-hmm. It's pretty bad. If he's afraid of the dark, this must be his worst nightmare, poor guy.
Yeah. Once you do beat him, you get an accessory called the Divine Cross, which is just like a huge stat boost to basically everything except range, I believe is the one.
Everything except range, yeah.
Which means if you equip someone with a Divine Cross and then one of the long barrels for your sort of distance fighters, you've basically got an invincible sniper, which is pretty wicked.
Pretty much. Now, I do have one thing to report on still back at Erletten before we went into Chaldea, but I wanted to let you know that if I spoke to some of the soldiers there, and they were all commenting on Ray and Antoine, who had previously passed through.
Oh, really?
Private Cromwell, who's manning the desk, says that it seems that a researcher with the central factory just traveled through the tunnels, even though crossing the tunnels as it is now takes serious guts, but that person had a cat with them. Well, maybe that made it less scary. Having a pet, like he was like having a cat with him is what, made him strong enough to go through.
Nice.
Somebody else, the guy at the door, at the gate, Private Nick, said, "I can hardly believe some guy braved the tunnel the way it is now without batting an eye." And then commented that the guy's got balls, that's for sure. Courage like that's almost enough to steal a guy's heart. So Private Nix is now in love with Ray, the researcher. So that's pretty cool. We got a queer character here. Just got to shout that out. But yeah, everyone is impressed with Antoine, who apparently fought his way through these tunnels, which is pretty impressive when you see what happens when you go in.
Antoine, he ain't no pussy.
We love you, Antoine. But yeah, that's all I had before we went to got all the way to Zeiss. But I just had to report on an Antoine update. That's always important.
That's amazing. The only other thing I made a note of in the tunnel was, like, because you are in the dark, you don't have your maps either, so you're flying blind. And I was very happy with myself for knowing the layout so intimately.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this whole chapter, like, as annoying as it is to run back and forth across the entire country, especially in a pre-turbo age, it does feel very good to go through all these maps and just know. Like, I don't have to look it up unless I'm in a tower. I just know where I'm going. And so I was running across and I was like, okay, hit the first bridge. Here's the second bridge. So there'll be the augment charging station. And stupidly, I was like, oh, I'm going to stop and just like heal up while I'm on my way through. And obviously you can't because
there's no orbital energy. Yep.
And there's like a little dialogue. It's just like, it's not working. And I was like, oh, yeah, obviously.
I do love how much they thought through, like, the way that an orbital shutdown would impact all of these different areas differently and how each kind of region has, like, you've got the bridge situation in Rouen, and then you've got in Zeiss between the tunnel being blacked out and it being really dark in Zeiss factory, and, like, nothing works because everything they do relies on orbments, and then we'll see later that Rolent is actually functioning pretty fine because they don't use orbments that much. Like, it's clear that when planning the whole kingdom of Liberl, they were thinking about this and, like, planning for each region to be different enough that it, like, use orbital energy differently and have environments that portrayed that, like, differently. I thought that was very cool, just to note.
Yeah, no, I did actually note that because in this section, we actually go to the two extremes of the reactions.
Yeah.
Because Zeiss Central Factory and Zeiss as a town are fully debilitated because Kilika has a line in a little bit that's just that Zeiss is practically built on a culture of augment worship at this point. Mm-hmm. So losing them is a shock to say the least. So everyone's just fully like paralyzed because no one can do research work.
Those Silicon Valley tech freaks.
Yeah, they're freaking out. Later we get to Rolent, which hasn't really sort of augmentified as much as even the rest of the cities, and people are kind of like chill about it for the most part.
Yeah, Mayor Kloe said there that the only civic functions that rely on augments are the clock tower and the airport, and everything else is like doesn't really need it. And so the only other person who's affected is the guy in the orbital shop. Like everyone else is just doing the same whole thing, which is kind of fun. The difference, the advantage of the boonies.
But yeah, after cutting through the tunnel as quickly as I possibly could, you find yourself in the basement of Zeiss Central Factory as usual. I did check in the basement where we have the conveyor belts. Rudy's there alone.
Yeah, no Faye. She's still off with the professor.
He's just kind of lonely and worried, which is cute.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, Faye's helping the professor and I'm here by myself, and it's a little scary. He's actually like hiding off to the side behind some boxes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's just really sequestering himself so no one finds him. But yeah, I did do a bit of a whip up and down the tower just to kind of see what's going on in like the most orbital place.
Yes.
Who was there? Oh, yeah. So the gun quest guy, Carl, in one of the labs upstairs, who got Olivier to test his gun.
Yes, I did talk to him.
He's asking after Olivier, who's obviously not with the party at the moment.
Mhm.
And he says, Olivier, is he? And just kind of trails off. And Joshua cuts in, thinking he's completing the sentence, saying, a foreigner? Yes. But he's also something else that starts with F.
Yes.
And it's maybe more of a slur than a word. But Carl's just like, oh, yeah, I was hoping to get him to help me with my gun research again, but I guess not. I don't think it was the gun research he wanted help with. I think he's looking for a date.
Well, depends what kind of gun he
Mm.
wants to be handling.
Olivier, is he DTF? Down to fire guns? Other than that, a lot of people are just complaining. The librarian's mad that she can't do her work in the dark.
I love that the librarian's complaining about it when she has the least Orbment-dependent job in all of Zeiss.
Yeah.
Like, yes, she needs light for it, but, like, everyone else in the factory relies more on Orbments than she does for their job.
Honestly, I think she's just mad that she can't read.
This is true, but they have lamps. Even, like, people in Zeiss are like, I have a lamp, so I'm managing, but she's like, no. I think she just wants to slack.
Another thing I did note was in the lobby, especially, they have all the little lanterns set up on the desks, and I really like the light projection and the way it affects your shadows as you move through. Because if you think of like the Zeiss lobby has the reception desk and then the Orbital store off to the right-hand side. As you sort of come out of the stairs, because obviously you can't take the elevator at the moment, you cut between the two lamps on the two desks and you're casting like opposite shadows sort of spreading from all of your party members, and it looks so good.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's awesome.
I was really curious about it because I love that kind of stuff. And often it'll be like you can only be affected by one shadow at a time, just processing power and that kind of stuff for old games.
Yeah.
But there is a very narrow column between the two of them where you can have simultaneously cast shadows from both lamps.
That's awesome.
Just a nice little touch of visual polish that I really appreciated.
That's
that
really
and
cool.
like the soft lighting and all that. It looks so good. The only other thing I noted was that I did run into Antoine in the tower. He's back in the med bay.
Yes.
So he's saying Nyago with the two tildes, which is just hello. So,
I see.
okay, thank you. It's better than fleshy thing. And also, the number of times he's referred to us as fleshy thing, I'd started to think that was his only hello, but he does actually know how to say hello. So he's just choosing to be rude.
Yeah.
A deadbeat dad with no social niceties.
I did go check on his girlfriend, or his baby mama and kids when we were in Rolent.
I did too, yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll get to that.
Still unnamed as far as I can tell as well.
Yeah, as far as I know. So yeah, I did run around Zeiss a bit.
What did you find?
Because I wanted to go and do some monster quests before I went into the
Same, yeah.
into the guild. So I went and did the monster on Trat Plains, the one south, and I found a big airship that had landed there. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Cornelia Tower and went to the top of the dimension bag. And I also ran around and talked to some people in Zeiss, and everyone's just freaking the hell out. They're not okay. That old guy who hangs out around there is looking at the escalator, and everyone's kind of like vying for whose shit he's gonna check on next. Like there's a guy waiting behind the escalator being like,
yeah,
my thing is the next thing he's getting to check on. Don't get in the way.
Yeah, he's checking my truck next.
A truck is broken down in the middle of the street, and Estelle is very annoyed that it's blocking everything. Yeah, people are not doing well.
Yeah, I did a bit of a whip around as well before walking into the Bracer Guild, because as we covered last episode, when you enter the Bracer Guild, you lose one of your ZFGs, your zero field generators, the accessories that let you still cast arts. Mm-hmm. The more towns we go to, the harder it is to kind of plan a party composition.
Yes.
So at this point, I believe we have 3 left.
Yeah, so it wasn't that big of a deal because I was only using 2 at the moment.
Still, it's nice to have like a backup caster just in case.
An option, yeah.
You really start to appreciate the value of arts here, if you didn't already, from the Sky games who make them so much more powerful. So yeah, I did the 2 side quests that exist prior to handing over the ZFG. You've got, that Trap Plains monster, which is the Abyss Worms. They suck.
Oh my god, they're the worst! You got like 8 of them. These are the worst recurring monster in the series.
If they are not at 100% health, they will use their Earthquake move. Yeah. So you can't try and wipe them. Because I did what I always do, which is that I walked in with 200 CP Josh and just blasted the battlefield, which meant that I had 8 Earthquakes in a row. They absolutely decimated me. You've got to focus on them one at a time so they don't all quake.
Or you have to really mess with like the turn order. Like I cast clock down and clock up on everyone, and then had Jin basically. I was doing them in clusters. I wasn't doing them one at a time, but I was basically had Joshua was just casting Evil Eye, his Evil Eye craft to like delay everyone.
Yeah.
Estelle was casting clock up X on Jin, and Cher was casting clock down on all the worms, and then Jin was just doing his Thunder God kick after doing a true distend so that his strength and defense was up, and they were just Thunder God kicking everything to death. It was actually great. Like,
I love Thunder God Kick, yeah.
Estelle got they did a couple of earthquakes over the course of the battle, but nobody got KO'd. It worked really well, even though they're annoying as hell.
Yeah. No, the first time around I got absolutely decimated because I tried to do like a field wipe, and then second time, completely different fight. Like, it's such a difference in difficulty. And just to cover it off while we're here, the other side quest is the Ritter roadway monster, which is right outside the city on Ritter Road.
I did that after when I was headed to Grancel. Much easier. It's much easier.
They're 5 blade cougars, the red knife dogs.
Yeah.
Weirdly, as I was fighting them, one of them ran away. So
the
fight actually got easier for me out of nowhere.
That's wild. That's so weird.
Yeah, because these are the ones who do like the roar that powers up everyone around them. And I was fighting them, and I'd done the other fight already, so I was just like, oh god, they're not got some sort of like teamwork makes the dream work, fuck you over move, do they? And then one of them's just like, I'm out, bye. And I was like, oh, wicked. So this is Blade Cougar times 4, not times 5.
Yeah.
But other than that, I sort of stopped by everywhere except for Elmo Village, because I knew that there was a side quest that would take us there as soon as we give the ZFG. So where did I stop? Leyston Fortress, first of all.
Oh, I didn't go there. I did not stop in there at all. Tell me what happened.
Oh. So yeah, you walk up, the gate is stuck halfway open, which feels like it should have been a much more common problem in this like EMP moment. Everyone was either fully open or just all fully open.
There are some that are fully open that it gets commented on, but I think when I went to the gate, to Wolf Gate, the Calvert border, they were saying that it's stuck open, which is a problem. Then they said it's so much less of a problem than what Haken Gate is dealing with, which I think suggests it's open at Haken Gate, and that's scary.
Yeah.
We'll see if that comes up later or not in the game. Who knows?
But yeah, when you walk up, the gate's half open. I went to go inside, and the guard bars entry. He's like, hey, shit's fucked. Don't come in here. And Estelle's like, oh, is Cassius here? And he is. He's working hard as he can to kind of get things to be resolved. And Estelle's kind of like, oh, okay. Which is when Joshua steps forward and name drops Estelle. This is Estelle Bright, Cassius Bright's daughter. Can she go see him? And the guy's like, oh, shit, yeah, absolutely, you can come in. And Estelle says no. She's like, no, if he's that busy, I don't want to interrupt him. Like, he's doing his job as best as he can. I'm doing my job as best as I can. So we'll both help each other in that way. I trust him, he trusts me. Let's move on. And then they leave. It's so cute.
She's so mature.
Yeah.
I love her. God.
She's come so far. And she's just like, yeah, like I know he's fine. You say he's fine. He's busy, like, he's got a lot to do.
Yeah.
I now understand the value of Dad Bright, so I'm not going to get in his way. And she's like, yeah. And as they leave, Joshua's just like, thanks for your time. If you get the chance, can you just let him know that we stopped by? And he's like, oh, yeah, for sure. I'll let him know. I'll probably run into him in the mess hall when it's mealtime, so I'll let him know then. Lovely. Just a little cutscene.
Yeah, that's really nice. I think I remember that from a previous playthrough, but I definitely didn't think to do that this time.
Yeah, I just wanted to hit all the bases. Literally, the bases. After that, I stopped at Sanctime Gate, or Sanctime. Still don't know what that pronunciation is. Not much going on there. Everyone's, again, kind of mystified what's going on. But they're happy that they've all been hooked up to the telephone network again, because all of the bases got one of the other ZFGs.
Yes, that's right.
Only things of note was that on the roof of the gate, Private Chesley mentions that he's been staring at the thing floating in the sky, and that he can sometimes see buildings on top of it through the fog.
Oh, interesting.
So he's confirmed that he can see structures. And also, Chief Warrant Officer Dale, when we sort of mentioned to him what we're going around doing, he's just like, I want mass-produced CFGs. Can you make a shit ton of them so that we can just plug them into everything? Because that'll solve the problem. And we're just like, no, don't think so.
Ask Professor Russell about that. Even if it's possible, we wouldn't be able to do it.
We were barely able to make like a baker's dozen of ZFGs, so I don't think that this is going to happen for you, buddy. I think, those were the only ones I hit before heading back to the actual Zeiss branch to check in with Kilika.
Yes, let's go see our favorite Kilika.
Be calming as ocean waves.
My favorite thing is as soon as you walk in, like she's on the phone, I believe, and without turning around, she identifies you and is like, you're here, finally.
She's right on schedule.
And I had Jin in my party, so he was kind of pissed at me. I was like, God damn it, how do you always do that? We update her on the situation, and she mentions that the success at releasing the Oriole was all but guaranteed when they took the towers, the enforcers. So Estelle's kind of like lamenting. She's like, oh, you're right. It was kind of a foregone conclusion. We probably shouldn't have wasted our time going there.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no, we got valuable intel. We learned more and we're more appraised of the situation. So it was a good choice.
Yeah.
So I love this like duality of Estelle that we're still seeing. It's like half the time she's this like natural confidence, self-assured, powerful warrior.
Yeah.
And then anytime it's like, you did something good, she's like, oh no, I'm garbage. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Oh, Estelle, I love you.
We hand over one of our few ZFGs to Kilika, get her phone up and running. And just like the rest of the bracer receptionist, she's like, hey, can you just like check the region, make sure everything's okay? And that includes Elmo Village.
Yes, it does. And, just see what's going on there since, because they're far away.
And this fucking side quest. God damn, guys.
Oh my god, yeah. It's so obnoxious.
Come on now. It's worse than the like hotel murder mystery who got hit in the face with a door thing.
Oh, I didn't think it was worse than that because I like the idea behind it. Whereas I like this idea of like it really takes a village, like how many people it takes to do something, and the idea that it's like that these things, smaller things helping the community or whatever, still have meaning even in the face of a crisis. So I like the idea of it, even if the execution was bad, whereas I found the hotel one was just pointless.
I just didn't like the hiking, yeah.
It was brutal.
So we make our way out to Elmo Village. A nice quick journey. I love having Cloak on, so I don't have to fight any of these monsters that give me like -4 XP or whatever at this point.
Yep.
We arrive in Elmo and everything's out of commission, obviously because of the Orbital shutdown.
The hot spring's not working because it's Orbital.
Now my guide specifically highlighted to bring Tita along for extra cutscenes, which I did.
Yes.
I'm not actually sure how this would play out without her.
Yeah, it would be strange because she's such an integral part of it.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just like the initial scenes and then they call in Tita or something.
Maybe. Or maybe they make you hike all the way back to get Tita, because,
God.
they're all over making you hike everywhere in this cutscene.
That would make sense, but fuck that. So we head into the hot springs to see Mama Mao at the front desk. She's like, hey, good to see you, the bards are out, and we can't really provide any service unless you want to have a cold bath, the worst thing that could ever happen.
She's like, I'll feed you, but I can't bathe you.
Yeah. And Estelle's just like, tell you what, give me the key and we'll figure it out. So...
Which I find so interesting that Estelle is the one to be like, let's see what I can do. Because, like, that doesn't really make sense, like, for Estelle to be the one, and yet I think it just kind of is meant to show, like, she's really come into her own as a bracer, just even so insofar as being like, there's a problem here, let me see what I can do about it. I don't know how, but I'm gonna go see, because we can figure something out.
Yeah. She's so confident in her team, even if, like, Tita's not stepping forward to say, like, I can do this. But we grab the key to the shed where all of the hot spring managing machinery is, like we've been before. And we step in. Of course, we propose the idea, like, can we plug one of the ZFGs in to make this work again? But it's too big of a piece of equipment because, as we've been told, it's only something that's about, like, handhold size. But Tita sort of pokes around it and reckons she can get it working in an alternative method using our old friend,
the combustion engine!
Hooray! Fossil fuels!
Yeah, she specifically says that because this is like a very primitive orbital design, the mechanism just needs some sort of power source to make it go.
As we may remember from the first game, we learnt that the hot spring piping tech was one of the first
demonstrations,
rollouts of orbital technology that Professor Russell ever did. Kind of a proof of concept to show that it was doable. So we did a clock and we did a bath.
I do appreciate that, honestly. It's a good priority.
But yeah, after Tita does her beautiful mind thing, we realize, we can get this working with the combustion engine.
Oh my god, it really is a beautiful mind thing, the way it plays out. I've just never thought of it like that, but I'm like, oh my god, you're so right. That really is what she's doing.
Yeah, she just kind of wanders back and forth and like pokes at different areas of the tech, and then she's like, yep, I got it. Which means that we have to head back to the landing port in Zeiss to try and find the engine, because it was being borrowed by Leyston Fortress most recently and then was returned, or was being returned.
Tita believes that it's there, because that's where it's usually stored.
So with that, it's time to hike back to Zeiss again, where we find Chief Gustav hanging out at the landing port, doing absolutely nothing, because what else can he do?
Yeah, nothing else to do right now.
We let him know the situation. He's like, absolutely, you can use the combustion engine. It is not here.
Yeah.
It's still out at Leyston Fortress.
He's like, yeah, they were using it again for some. They don't explain why they needed it again, because this isn't like they still had it from last game. This is like they bored it again.
I wouldn't be surprised if they'd borrowed it to try and get the gate fully opened or fully closed.
You're right. That makes sense. I wasn't thinking it through.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, so it's still out at Leiston. I would call ahead and like let them know so that you could use it, but it's hard to make phone calls at the moment.
Because the phones don't work at all.
Your party don't follow up on this statement in the way they normally do about the ZFGs, but you have two options at this point. You can run all the way out to Leiston Fortress and get it yourself, or you can go to the Bracer Guild and be like, hey, Killiker, can you ring him? And she'll ring them. Yeah. And then there you find out that it was being transported back to Zeiss at the time of the Orbital shutdown. Yeah. So we have to hike back to the...
Trap planes, that airship I saw. But yeah, no, it's that airship that I saw earlier. Good thing I spotted them, because I need their help.
Yeah, I do like how many airships there are just in, like, the big open plain areas all across the map as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously you need one there to kind of sell the point that airships were taken down mid-flight. But also, this is the airship country, so of course there's, like, 1 million airships in flight at any one time.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that none of them died in the crashes. They all seem to land pretty safely.
As far as we know, unless they just didn't show those on screen, because that would up the rating.
They were just off the beaten path.
Yeah.
I love that all of them are just sitting around. It's like, well, we landed safely, but now we've just got to wait for someone to come rescue us, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you could leave. Like, no one can steal your airship. It doesn't work.
Maybe there's stuff on the airship that they have to guard, though. Like, maybe they're transporting, like, sensitive materials. I don't know, military people.
In any case, we sort of let them know, hey, we got told that we can borrow the combustion engine. They pull it out for us and hand it over. I did notice that there's no dialogue at this point about how it's a huge fucking heavy object.
Right.
Which was a big deal last game.
And they show it still. Like, they show the model for it, and it's still a huge heavy object. Like, it's not like they just hand wave it by not even showing it to you. This whole side quest, I was like, wow, Estelle and Joshua are so buff. Like, Jin, I can believe, is carrying it around no problem. Yeah, so Estelle's really, really buff now.
Because we would have been, we would have been like level 20s range the first time we were in Zeiss and borrowed this, and now my Estelle is level 81, so I just imagine her walking around like holding up the combustion engine in one hand, being like da 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 da.
Yeah. But there's a nice conversation we get with the guys who are commenting on the fact that we're doing this at all, like to fix some random hot spring in a little town where all this crisis is going on. They make a comment like, Bracers seem to have different priorities than we do, and Estelle and Joshua clearly are taking this as a diss, and then the guy, the military guy, is like, no, I don't mean it like that. I actually think it's amazing that you guys are so able to, like, focus on, here are things that we can help with. Like, us soldiers are all freaking out because our weapons don't work, so we feel, like, completely helpless and nerve-wracked because our weapons don't work. Whereas you guys are just, like, looking around and being like, well, that's a problem I can help, so I'm going to work on the thing that I can help and help people. Even though it seems small, it'll make people's lives better and put them at ease. But I really like that as sort of an appreciation of, like, why this matters as a side quest, even though the execution of it is very annoying.
Yeah.
The whole point of it and why it's such a great idea is the idea of there being people walking around the world whose whole job is just to be like, we can help people right now. Let's go help people. Let's go figure out something we can do to help. And that's the thing we can all do in our own lives, probably a little more than we do, right? Is spend a little more time going, how can I help someone else? And a little less time being like, oh God, look at all the problems that I'm facing. And I like that that's what's amazing.
It's literally my personal mantra. If you can use up 1 second of your time to make life a little bit easier for everyone else after you, just do it. Yeah. Empty the bin. Refill the coffee beans.
Yeah.
Close the door behind someone. Like, do these things. It's nothing. It doesn't affect you.
It's nothing, and it's everything for somebody else, possibly. You never know when the person who comes after you is, like, the person who really, really needed to catch a break that day.
Just build up good karma. Like, do nice things, and they'll come back to you eventually.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's a bunch of, like, phrases and sayings that say that.
Yeah, almost.
I do like that this is kind of a common thing across the regions, though. There's a couple of other instances we'll see of making small changes that won't fix the problem, but do make life better for everyone in the meantime.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. At this point, though, we do need some fossil fuels, so it's time to go track down some gasoline.
Ah, yes. Love a fossil fuel.
We're like, all right, well, let's head back to the factory, because that's where we got gas last time. Some Calvardian gasoline.
Yeah, we'll go down to where Faye lives as the hottie of the underground.
Mm-hmm.
We're back to Plato's Cave of Hotties.
Well, sadly, there are no lights, so we cannot project any hot shadows on the walls.
We can't.
So yeah, we track down Rudy, asking about gasoline, at which point Chief Murdoch shows up, just like wandering into the basement, and he tells us that, yeah, I actually ordered some gasoline like a month ago. But the problem was it was coming not by airship, but by sea ship.
Yes.
So it hasn't arrived yet. It's probably still in Rouen.
All the way in Rouen.
And he's like, why don't you just like take a stroll over to Rouen and you can pick up the fuel? And so, yeah. This and like the trips back and forth from Elmo, I was just like, man, I love Turbo. Turbo's so good.
It's not as fast as I want it to be during this scene, though, honestly.
No.
I was playing this whole scene and I was like, Turbo could stand to be faster. Well, this really was getting to me when I was going back to catch that fish. And like the whole trek from North Rouen, I'd made it by there. And then I looked at the clock. And then I went and did all of that, including catching the fish. I got back to Rolent, and that was half an hour.
Yeah, jeez.
Less than 10 minutes if it was catching the fish. So it's at least 20 minutes of my time just going from Rouen to like thing and back. And I'm like, Turbo mode's not as fast as I think. And part of that is because Crone Pass is a pain in the ass. And like Rouen to Bose is like weirdly long compared to some of the other like in-betweens of the towns. But yeah, that I was like, man, Turbo Bose is not as fast as I think it is.
The thing that was kind of like getting me at the time was I was like, you know what? I can walk into any branch and be like, hey, Elnon, Kilika, whoever, call allies and summon them from all other branches to here. I really wanted her to just be like, can you call whoever's waiting in Rouen and tell them to call allies so I get moved to Rouen?
But we'd already called them back so that we could change Cheetah into our party.
I know. Fucking sucks.
I know. We should have gotten, what's his face? Marvin or whatever, the like junior bracer in Rouen. Like, he's nothing to do. Like, I talked to him last chapter, or not last chapter, I talked to him last episode, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to go report to the mayor about what happened at the school. And I was like, if you have so little to do that you're reporting about what we did to the mayor, then you could definitely carry some gasoline over here. Like, you're buff.
Yeah, dog, come on. But no, sadly we cannot fast travel ourselves, so we hike on foot back to Rouen, to the port. We find Portos.
Portos of the port.
I owe you favors, but I can't help you. Go talk to Harg.
Because they need to add another step.
Man, I've already walked so far. Can't you just help me?
Yeah.
Can't you just make Harg come here? I walked so far, you guys.
Honestly.
He's like, oh yeah, I know where that is. So we head over to the warehouse where he gives us 3 jerry cans full of gasoline. And we are ready to head back. I guess that's enough gasoline to maintain our hot springs for an indefinite period of time.
I guess so.
At which point, we have to hike all the way back to fucking Elmo again.
We're so excited to get to cause some pollution. Can't wait for the smog.
Yeah, Tita sets the little generator up in the exact center of the unventilated room. And is like, yeah, this will be fine. Actually... Just to relate that to a real life thing, it makes me think of my housemate last week went to see Metallica live, who were here in Melbourne. Opening act, Evanescence.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've told me about that. That's like the coolest setup.
I was saying that they had all these like pyro setups. Like they had a bunch of flames to shoot up at the front of the stage and like flashbangs and stuff. But the big thing was they had these 2 giant cannons off to either side of the stage at like a 45-degree angle. And they were shooting such high amounts of flame that they were forming mushroom clouds.
Oh my god.
Which means that the ceiling of this venue was just like filling with black smoke. And that is exactly what's happening in the shed in Elmo right now.
Yeah.
We're just like, hey, this is working great. And the engine is going. And I feel sleepy. I'm going to lay down.
Oh my god.
We get everything working. Tita is a genius. We love her.
We love Tita. She is such a smart child. We love the girl child. Every day is International Day of the Girl Child on Trails Through Trails.
Every day. It's also the International Day of Tolerance because Estelle steps forward and is like, Tita, can we help? And Tita's like, how about you sort these parts into piles? And we're like,
yeah.
And Josh is like, yes, even us dum-dums can do that. Perfect. So we're just sitting there like sorting nuts and bolts for her while she reworks an entire mechanism with a new power methodology.
Yeah.
Which works.
It does.
We get to see the hot springs steam up again. We let Mama Mao know, and she's like, perfect. As a reward, why don't you stop for a meal and a soak, and then you can keep going.
But with full CP and health.
Love to see it.
So nice.
So we have our celebratory feast off screen, and then we're done. One other thing I did want to note before we leave Elmo, though. Yes. I stopped in at the shops and everything because I'm just like, oh, yeah, I wonder if anyone's got any new stock. Because one thing I've been noticing across this chapter is a lot of food venues especially have new meals.
They do.
Which seems to be a thing of like, oh, they're cooking alternative recipes with the mechanics that they have access to. And I walked into the general store in Elmo, And if you have a look at the screenshot that I just sent you, I noticed a poster stuck to the side of the desk, which is just a single egg.
I'm trying to figure out what that text is supposed to say, because, like, I can make out some... It says, like, open tamago.
It looks like that, yeah. Oh, tamago is, yeah, like, that's like egg on rice.
Yeah, it's like tamagoyaki is like the omelet and stuff.
Oh, I think it is fresh tamago.
Oh, fresh? I thought it said open fresh egg.
So I just love that this man has gone to Zeiss Central Factory, where I assume they have a printing press, and is like, I need a poster. I need one poster of one egg. And it's like, the poster just says, we have egg.
No, you know what? We're going to say it says open because that means he's telling people to crack their eggs. This is actually a trans rights general store.
This is something that Killica has put up, yeah.
But he just doesn't know the lingo, so instead of crack your egg, it's open egg. He's a little confused, but he's got the spirit. So we appreciate it. I also like that he's got little, like, keychains on, like, those little, like, wheelie, like, circular things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at a souvenir shop, you'd have little keychains. Because this is kind of meant to be, like, it's a general store and, like, a souvenir shop for Elmo, right? That's kind of the vibe of it.
It's a souvenir shop, yeah, because it's, like, a holiday destination for sure. Yeah. I saw the egg poster and I was like, I love that.
I'm glad that we found this.
Yeah, Killica's just been going around from, like, store to store saying, you will put up this poster or I will punch you to death.
Yes. And she can.
And they're like, yes, ma'am. Gender-affirming violence.
Yes. It's what she deserves.
After laughing at the egg poster for more than was probably reasonable, I left. Also, after finishing this quest, you can go to Wolf Fort.
Yes.
Where Warrant Officer Pace will give you Gambler Jack Volume 13.
Yes.
Still skipping over, I think it was Chapter 11. We haven't seen yet because that one's in Rolent.
Yes.
But the guide keeps reassuring me, it's okay, you'll get it eventually, don't worry. And I love that is written specifically for me.
I'm glad that you had that support during these trying times.
It's important to me. But I think that's about all I had to do in Zeiss before it's time to just sort of ship on to and through Grancel on our way to Rolent. So we make our way to Grancel. There were 2 side quests to do once we get there, so I did one of them on the way in. Which is there's a monster out the front of Urbe Royal Villa, which is a big cactus and some small cactuses.
Yep.
I don't know what that fight is like because they were wiped out with a single S-craft from Joshua.
Very nice. It's not that big of a deal fight, even if you don't wipe them out immediately. They're pretty much fine, honestly.
I kind of like this from like a meta storytelling side as well, because there are all of these, there's so many monster quests, obviously, throughout this chapter.
Yes.
But none of the monsters are really that tough. It's just that everyone else is completely debilitated.
Yes.
So these might well have been taken care of by the army or a single bracer in the past, but because we're the only ones who can cast spells right now,
yes,
we are the only ones that are still powerful. So we're just like mopping up the, occasional rat that's gotten into the building sort of thing.
Exactly.
Oh, and the other one was in the Grancel sewers.
Ah, yes.
Which is annoying because it's hard to find because there's no map, but it's on the east block side at the part where there's that gate that we could open to connect the 2 regions of the sewers.
Yes.
But that got closed again between games and we haven't been able to reopen it since. So
classic.
I can see coming into the sewers, getting lost and ending up on the wrong side of that blockade wall and being really annoyed.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully that didn't happen. But it was just a big mob of random enemies, including a couple of recolored versions of the Moki.
Oh, yeah, I hate those guys.
The giant flying merkins.
No, when I saw them, I was felt dread, and then they weren't actually that bad.
Again, it's just kind of like a drop an S-craft and you're good.
Yeah.
I believe this was also the point at which I unlocked Estelle's 3rd S-craft, Wheel of Time.
I got that in the first part of the last episode. It was great.
It's so good. But yeah, it's a cool move. It's called Wheel of Time. She does a spin with her stick and then causes like a tornado around the enemies. It's so cool looking. It is still a single attack, which is a shame.
It is very
sad. I was really hoping that she'd get an area attack at this point because other party members, as they've been upgrading, they've either increased the range of their S-crafts or gotten a new one that's area, like
Shara.
Like Shara's tarot card one where it's like a random effect.
Card of Judgment or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
No, but not for Estelle. Maybe in the remake.
But yes, it was very exciting. I got to use that in this fight. Wiped out those monsters, and then, like you said last episode, we don't have to worry about not going into the Bracer Guild this time because there's already a ZFG here. We're not going to lose one.
Exactly. Everyone's happy to see us.
So, yeah, I stopped in there, handed in my quests,
I also did a little other running around of Grancel, and
Same.
we have an update in the Odyssey of Anton. Keeping up with the Casanova, lover boy in the burl. But there, unfortunately, isn't actually that much to say because it's out with a fizzle, as you might say. Anton tells me, a broken heart bathed in the golden glow of dusk, the remnants of the dreams of the strong. And that's all he says. Now, I go to Ricky for a little translation, and Ricky goes, apparently Anton's heart was shattered once again in Rolent. Seems like he intends to be a dramatist or something now.
It sure seems that way.
There's something really funny about using his heart being shattered as language when that's what Joshua refers to in terms of, like, the horrific, unspeakable trauma of Hamel. Like, I love that the idea that, like, Anton does think that what he went through is as bad as the unspeakable tragedy that Joshua suffered. Like, of course he would.
Of course
he doesn't
he
even
does.
know he's saying that, and yet it's totally true.
Yeah.
We also found, I went to the church, too, because you know
Oh, yeah.
me. And everybody is talking about Kevin. Not exactly, but they kind of are.
Oh.
So the Archbishop is just like, so it's begun then. This is no trial from the goddess. And I'm like, okay, weird, but whatever. But then I talked to the bishop. I didn't get the screenshot. But he's basically like, yeah, so Kevin was talking to the Archbishop until really late last night. And then a package arrived for Kevin.
Oh.
And then Kevin left with the package.
I didn't see any of this.
So that's what happened. And then Sister Noah is like, yeah, Father Kevin was up late talking to the Archbishop. There's some kind of understanding between the Archbishop and Father Kevin. And we don't know what that means yet, but interesting to note that we don't see Kevin, but his presence is felt. If you talk to the people of the church, that he and the Archbishop are in deep talks in the middle of the night. And I don't think that it's sexy times talks. I think that they're real serious talks. I also went to the fishing guild.
Oh, yes.
Fisher, the head of the Fisher Guild, was very impressed by my Master Fisher card, told me he can sell bait to me. Estelle was she's like, this is kind of exciting, but also kind of scary. Yeah, I'm like an elite super fisher who's now recognized across the continent because I caught a super cool fish. So that was cool. But that was not cool enough to be worth all of that.
Yeah, it kind of felt like there should be some extra reward, like a final upgrade to the fishing rod or something.
Like a cool quartz.
I didn't do a huge tour around Grancel because I figured I'd be able to do a lot of it on our return, I'm hoping.
You won't.
Okay, well, then I missed out on a lot of stuff, but I did get some.
When you get close to Grancel, a cutscene will initiate and will continue in cutscenes until the final dungeon, basically.
Oh, right, because it's a poner, a point of no return.
Yes, unfortunately.
I did stop in at the Orbital Factory. I just like the little cutscenes where they're like, hey, we can save your business for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But this one is fun because Zachariah at the Orbital Factory in Grancel is the only Orbital Factory owner smart enough to offer to buy the ZFG. He's just like, how much do you want for it? I need this to maintain my business.
Damn.
If I can keep running, I will make a killing.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we can't do that. We need this to save the world. And also,
yeah,
just because you could run your business, everyone would leave and their stuff would stop working anyway. So he's like, oh, yeah, that's true.
Good point.
Fair enough. So I moved on from him. I also stopped in at the museum because I wanted to see what was going on over there.
Ooh.
It turns out that while we're in Orbital shutdown, Queen Alicia has decreed that entrance to the museum be free for all citizens.
Oh, that's nice.
So there's a bunch of people in the museum at the moment sort of looking around all the stuff, and it's an incredibly smart move because this has all the history of Orbital and pre-Orbital technology. So a number of the NPCs are looking around the museum going like, oh, so this is how we used to do it before Orbments.
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't be too bad if we had to go back to using a manual spinning wheel or whatever. And so it is doubly smart from Alicia. Firstly, she's doing the same thing that we're doing restoring the hot springs, which is like creating like a positive distraction to keep the citizenry calm during this disaster. But by giving them access to this museum of orbments, she's also showing, worst case scenario, if we don't get this fixed, it's not that bad. So people are kind of like cluing themselves in and being like, oh, actually, yeah, no, that's fine.
There was life before orbments and there could be life after.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought that was really clever. It's like another of these little like citizenry calming moments.
She's so cool.
Other than that, there's not much going on. They're just like, yeah, it's free and everyone's here. There's a couple of people with their kids and everyone's kind of chilled out, which is a good thing to have at the moment.
Yes.
Nothing new other than that going on in the museum. It's just I so rarely remember that it's there that I was like, I'm going to do it.
Nice. No, I love a museum, so I didn't do that this time, but I'm very glad you did. I did also stop and get a copy of the Liberal News.
Oh, yes.
Because they're only selling them here. Because obviously they have no distribution methods.
Oh, because it's printed here, yeah.
To get them to other places.
How did they print it if they've got no augments? Or is this a newspaper that was issued before?
I didn't read it. I forgot to, so I don't think it was... I think there are books that exist from pre-things, so it's possible that they have pre-orbital printing presses.
True.
But I didn't read it, so it's also possible that it was printed, like, right before the shutdown, but it just couldn't be, like, distribution just couldn't go past the city limits.
Yeah, that or Niall and Dorothy both have carpal tunnel now from writing out the newspaper by hand over and over again.
Niall would. And Dorothy would. Actually, she would do that. Like, she would make a bunch of big typos. And Niall would feel so clever that he'd figured out a solution and then realize that it was all completely useless because Dorothy just made mistakes everywhere.
Absolutely.
I should be in the mines writing fan fiction. Look at this.
In the fan mines. Now, the last place I stopped before leaving Grancel, you know that I've had my eye on a certain for sale shopfront in the West Block for the past 2 games.
Since last game, yes.
Perfect for a restaurant location, as the sign said last game. It's open now.
It is.
And I was like, oh my goodness, who chose to start a business during a world crisis?
You'll never guess what he found there.
We walk in to see a shopkeeper who does not want to meet our eyes.
Turns around immediately.
Because it turns out it is, as Joshua says, the former mayor of Rouen, Mr. Dalmore.
Yeah.
I love the Mr. Just to really drive home, it's like, you have no authority.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone immediately gets angry. It's like, the fuck? You're meant to be in, jail. What's going on?
He's out on bail.
They let you out on bail? After what you did to children? Orphans, I might add?
Well, first of all, Estelle doesn't know what bail is. Joshua has to explain it to her.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
But she accurately puts it, she's like, oh, so laws don't apply to you if you're rich? And Josh was like, well, no, it's about innocent until proven guilty. And I'm like, yeah, but if you don't have money, you can't get out on bail.
Yeah.
The laws don't apply to you if you're rich. Unfortunately, that's the world.
He's not as rich anymore because he had to pay a substantial bail. He says he basically bankrupted himself getting out on bail.
Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo-hoo. But he has opened a store selling Sepith. Not trading money for Sepith, but trading Sepith for money.
Yes.
So you can stock up on any Sepith you want. Most of them cost 3,000 Mira per 100 units, except for the Space and Mirage, which accelerate to 6,000 and 9,000 each.
Now, unfortunately, you can buy them in batches of 100 only. You can't, choose your specific amounts. And you can't see how much you have of either money or Sepith as you're doing it. So the UI is really annoying.
So stupid. It drives me crazy. It's another one of these 1 step forward, 2 steps back moments. We have the opportunity to buy Sepith, but all it says is buy 100 Earth Sepith for $3,000. It doesn't even have the symbol to show the color of the Sepith, so you can remember which one's time, which one's space, and which one's mirage. It doesn't show you, your current inventory. It doesn't show you your money. It just says, oh, you don't have enough money anymore. We already have a trade menu UI.
Yeah.
Why can't we just reverse it? It already exists.
It's so stupid.
You guys, please. And yeah, only being able to buy 100 at a time when the guide is like, oh, stock up on 5,000 time Sepith.
Yeah. I did buy a shitload, but I was annoying.
I bankrupted myself, yeah.
I came close to bankruptcy, not quite, but I think I still had 60,000 in the bank, but I had spent.
Oh wow!
But I had 500,000 before this, so I still spent 450,000.
I had 690,000.
Oh my god, you got a lot. You're well set. You're very equipped.
I had sort of used up a lot of my Sepith opening up slots for everybody because I've just been trying to open a couple every time because the actual amounts per type of Sepith aren't that high. It's just they stack up really quickly. So I ended up getting myself to 2,500 with everything, then actually looked at what the guide recommended getting and spent my money to get as close to that as the rest because apparently we have level 5 quartz coming and they are quite expensive.
Encountered them already, but you'll be able to synthesize them.
Yes.
So it's the blue the mind quartz or whatever, I think is just what it is.
Right, yeah. I spent all my money there very slowly because yes, you have to buy in units of 100. It's a terror. And also, extra annoying, it's not a memory cursor on the thing. So if you scroll down to Earth Sepith and buy it, it then goes to the top. So you have to scroll down again. It's all of the bad decisions you can make.
It's prime bullshit. It's such bullshit. It's actually impressive how much bullshit is crammed into this.
Truly. But yes, I bought as much as I could out of Dalmore's infinite supply of Sepith. The one other thing I did notice is like a lot of the shops here have like an upstairs area, and this one does too. When you go upstairs, all that's there is a bed that obviously Dalmore's sleeping in, and then a lot of booze.
Oh my god, I didn't go check.
There's just like a shelf full of alcohol, including like an empty bottle tipped over on the ground. Clearly his money's been spent on starting a business and getting drunk.
Yeah. I mean, I can't blame him, but of course I can because he's a piece of shit. I did notice, like, he's claiming that he was a kind of a victim in the whole thing that happened too, because, like, his mind was being messed with, but it's also, like, oh, that's a funny screenshot. But it's like, yeah, his memory was messed with, but that doesn't mean, like, other people whose minds were messed with weren't doing this kind of shit, dude. Like, you can't...
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And then he also mentions that the money came from his estate, but the actual how to get the Sepith, he's like, I have contacts. That's where I got all this Sepith. Like, he's clearly getting it illegally. We kind of let it alone, but it's a little like, dude.
Who would have thought that you'd let a rich guy out of jail and he'd immediately start breaking the law again? Crazy.
He does even make comments. He's like, even the punishments of hell can be bought off. Welcome to the Dalmore firm. So he's very much like, yes, I managed to buy my way out. Piece of shit.
Bitch. Well, that left a bad taste in my mouth, so it's time to leave Grancel and head for Rolent through Garoon Gate.
Yep. Now, this is when I went and got the monster on the Urbi Villa, because I couldn't be bothered to do it before.
Yeah, fair enough. So, it is time to head to Rolent to drop off our final ZFG.
Yes, it is. Off the Garoon Gate, where they're complaining that they can no longer have good meals because of they don't have their orbital stove. And the guy, Private Andan, says, and mealtime was one of our few joys, too. And I just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah. Was this the gate where they had the one soldier who was a really good cook?
I don't remember. Maybe?
Well, yeah. So, trekked on. I made sure to do a bit of a tour around Rolent before going into the guild, just to see what was going on.
Yes, I started by going home, because Joshua hasn't been home yet, so I took him, and I had Estelle sleep in her own bed, and Joshua sleep in his own bed. There was no dialogue or anything. Aww. I was a little annoyed, a little sad that I was like, maybe there's something I can trigger, but no. But I made them go, because you can sleep and rest and get, like, recover health, but I made sure, even though I only needed to sleep in one bed for that to happen for the whole party, I went and let Estelle and Joshua both sleep in their own beds, because Joshua hasn't slept in his own bed in months, and he deserved to.
As far as we know, he's mostly been sleeping on the outside of airships.
Yeah. Baby boy deserved to go to his own bed.
Yeah. I also stopped there. I was also disappointed. There was no dialogue whatsoever. But after that, I headed on. I stopped in at Arben Bar, which is empty.
Yes. For now.
I thought at first it was like, oh no, business is dead because they don't have like a working oven or anything. But it turns out they've actually got a private event on today.
Mm-hmm.
They don't specify what it is at this point. But when you talk to Alyssa behind the counter, she's like, Estelle and Joshua. And this is the great thing. Like almost every person you talk to in Rolent remarks on the fact that Joshua's back with the party.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
And they're so excited. And he like apologizes to everybody. He's like, sorry, I've been gone over and over and over again. It's like, you don't have to apologize, buddy. They literally don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they're like, we're just glad to see you again. Like, we know something was wrong before because Estelle was super sad, and we're just happy that you're home because you're part of us. You're part of our community, and we love you.
A lot of them also tease Estelle in the mix as well. Like, Alyssa says, you know, I'm so glad you're back together with Estelle. After all, she always seems to be dragging around other men these days.
Yeah.
And this is like, damn, drag her, Alyssa.
This is true. If you think the last 2 times she's been home, she's been with a random man no one's ever heard of before.
She found a priest, she found a foreigner, she found an angry man.
Yeah, she found a bear.
Yeah. But also, because I had Shara with me in the party, I talked to Faulkner, one of the other guys who works at the bar, and he's like, oh god, Shara,
he's so scared of her.
Are you here to drink? She's like, no, I can't. I'm on the job at the moment. He's like, oh, thank Christ.
Did you catch it in the remake? If you go to talk to Faulkner at the bar and Cher's in your party, even if you just go to shop, his spoken dialogue is different. He's afraid. He stammers in fear if Cher's in your party. But if not, he has different, like, voice dialogue of just his, like, welcome, what do you want to buy? Like, it's just different. It's such a funny touch.
It makes sense in this moment, even not knowing about that is like an existing condition he has. Like everyone's worrying about like stock scarcity at the moment. And if Sherazade Harvey walks into your bar during an alcohol shortage, you're not going to have any more alcohol. So he's just like, oh God, please tell me you're not here to drink. She's like, no. He's like, oh Christ, thank you. So they'll have something to serve during their like catered event later on.
Yes. I meant to ask.
Oh, yep.
Because this is kind of related. I keep forgetting to ask about the remake. Did they have the cat dictionary in the remake?
Okay. They do.
Oh no. But?
None of the cat dialogue matches up with it.
Oh no. Oh my God.
I checked. I'm pretty sure it's the same dictionary because I saved it all, but all of like Antoine's dialogues are just like meow.
Oh my God.
It doesn't match up. I was really upset.
I wonder if the Japanese one is
God, I hope so.
like that too, or I hope the Japanese one is right and it's just gung ho fucked it up.
Yeah, it was such a missed opportunity. I was like really disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's come on, guys. So just outside of Arben Bar, I found Ida with Errol, the single mum cat, and one or two of her kittens. Ida mentions that they're going to a party today, and when you talk to Errol, she just says nya-o. Yes, that's exactly right.
Oh.
So yes, we are going to a party with my unnamed children.
I talked to her later, and I got different dialogue. But I didn't talk to her now.
In touring around the city, most people in the houses are just kind of oblivious. That old guy who's just kind of an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
He's just mad that his orbments aren't working. He's like, all of the orbments aren't working. Did they all break at once? That seems unlikely. And I was like, have you stepped outside, buddy? Have you seen the giant city in the sky?
Dude.
Apparently not. Also, upstairs from him, I believe, Frissa in one of the houses.
Oh, yes?
She mentions that they'd just started construction at the mines prior to the shutdown.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's a nice little hint of where we'll be going later on.
This is true.
Oh, and Mayor Klaus in his house mentions that the only sort of ordnance, the clock tower and the airport, like we covered earlier. So it's not that big of a change for the town. It's just like conveniences are gone, but not infrastructure.
Yes. I also stopped in at the church now.
Yes.
And talked to Father Divine first of all. And Father Divine told me that was happy to see Joshua and said that he seems much more at peace, very calm, and says, right now the world is descending into chaos. However, no matter what happens, you must not lose sight of yourself. And that the light that guides us comes from within. And Joshua and Sil both take this very much to heart. They're very touched by this. And then Father Divine's like, I can't talk for longer because I have an event coming up that I have to deal. I'm very busy right now.
Yes.
So there's a lot going on. I'm preparing for some stuff, but I'm glad to see you. And just keep that in mind that, follow your heart or something.
Oh, so at this point when you went into the church, is everyone not there yet?
They're there, but haven't started yet. Like, they are, like, they're rehearsing. So should we say what's going on in the church?
Yeah, let's do it. It's
Ellie and Armand are getting married.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
It is.
Armand and Ellie have decided to make joy out of the sorrow of the orbital shutdown and go ahead with their wedding during all this shit. All of the people in the church, their family and friends, they're talking about, like Armand is extremely nervous. Ellie's like just happy and she's like, oh, Dad, I hope you're looking down from heaven and seeing me. I finally got to wear the dress.
Aww.
Some of the families are arguing with each other about whether it's a good idea or not to go ahead with the wedding, which just feels very realistic.
It does.
It's like, well, the couple-to-be are just happy about the day. Everyone in the background's just like bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
True to life. But yeah, they're getting ready to get married. It's very exciting. Oh.
Yeah, it is. I've got the nun, Sister May, is helping Armand rehearse putting the ring on Ellie's finger because he's nervous and he keeps messing up while he's practicing. So she's helping him practice, which I thought was extremely cute.
Yeah, her comment was cute. She's like, when it comes, like, you'll be so anxious and nervous that you will not be able to do anything. So just practice now. I love the idea that he's so nervous. He's just like missing her ring finger as he's practicing.
Yeah. I also saw Luke and Pat, who were very excited to see Joshua back with Estelle, and they were very friendly and happy. There was no nastiness. Joshua did warn them that it's really dangerous outside, so don't go wandering onto the roads. And they're like, yeah, we know, we won't. I know.
Yeah, very mature from Luke. She's like, yeah, of course, we're not going to go outside. It's a bummer that we can't go play, but
we'll play in here.
It's another disaster. Time to stay inside.
Yep. The kids are used to this by now, I believe.
Yeah, and like their favorite thing to do is run in circles, so not having technology really isn't affecting them.
Yeah, they're pretty much okay.
But yeah, I did also check in at the shops, and everyone sort of comments on Joshua being back and how exciting it is. It's very sweet.
It is sweet.
And then it was finally time to check in at the guild.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was a monster on Lee's Highway that you couldn't miss, a big archaism, so I got them, and I also ran over to Milch Main Road and got the monster over there, just to have it all crossed off.
All done and done.
And then we go into the guild and see Ina, who's very happy to see Joshua, and Estelle and everyone, but especially to see Joshua back.
We hand over our second to last ZFG. We've still got one to use for our casters in the party. I also reported in all of the quests that I hadn't been reporting in so far. So got a bunch of BP, but still no rank up from B+ to A. So I'm assuming that'll only happen at the very end of the game, where in first chapter we were able to get to first class a lot earlier than the end of the game.
We were. But no, I do not recall when that happens.
But as we leave, we're going to sort of head out and, again, check on the area as requested by Ina to make sure everyone's okay.
And she calls out the mine specifically.
Yes, the mines and the farm she asks us to check on.
Oh, I forgot to check on the farm. Lol. I'm still in Rolent, so I could go check on it if I want to, but...
As we leave, we get a call from Elnan over in Grancel, and he says that Queen Alicia has passed along a request that we go meet with her at the castle. And I really love that Estelle reacts in all caps, "The Queen?" Like we don't know her personally. Yeah,
like we know her pretty well by now. You can go, if you want to, when you're in Grancel, you can go up to the rooftop and go fishing on her rooftop garden. That's a thing you can do.
That's
like,
amazing.
We're pretty tight with Queenie.
Yeah, it's like, basically you just said, hey, Chloe's mom called and she wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, this is your friend's mom. It's not the Queen anymore. She's like, we've had tea in her bedroom.
Yeah.
We fought a misogynist on her balcony. Like, we're good. So we're like, okay, yeah, there's no rush. The Queen's just asked you to come meet with her when you're ready, which just means, like, yeah, you've done all your ZFGs, you've handed that in.
Yeah, that's the next step.
You're ready for the next major story event.
Yes.
So before heading off to the mines to check on that, where we do have a side quest, I went to Perzel Farm briefly.
Oh, yes?
So there's another airship crash just outside.
Ooh.
Crash landed, I should say. And the soldiers in there are like, yeah, we're just kind of stuck waiting for reinforcements to tell us what to do. But in the meantime, they've been helping guard the farm while all of the orbital defense lights are down and everything.
Oh, that's nice of them.
So there's a couple of soldiers just kind of like patrolling around. They're like, yeah, like they've been very kind. They've been helping us and feeding us.
That's good.
So it's only fair that in return we help protect them. Because, yeah, all of their tech is out. The greenhouses are down. They're just trying to make sure they don't get damaged or anything.
Yeah.
But even Teoh's dad, I believe it is, says, like, yeah, it's like an adjustment, but farming's always been a pretty manual endeavor. So we're just having to relearn the basics a little bit without losing anything in the mix.
Yeah.
Which is true because, like, you don't need a generator in a greenhouse to make it a greenhouse. It just needs to be sealed.
Yeah.
I ran around, had a look at everything there. Teoh's just like, oh, yeah, it's great to see you. She's another one who teases Estelle about Joshua being back.
Of course.
When you see Joshua, she's like, oh, Joshua, it's so good you're back together. Estelle's been beside herself. Apparently, she cried quite a lot, and a maiden's tears carry a high price, you know? To which Joshua responds like, yes, and it's a price I'm ready to pay in full. And it's just like, oh, cute. He's like, you're going to apologize by making out a bunch, I'll bet.
Mm.
But yeah, that's about it. It was Teoh's mum who talks about the farming equipment because her dad's in the storeroom that I don't think I even knew was part of the house. I don't think I'd been in there before. But he's just like counting stuff. Obviously, there's like barrels of apples and stuff stacked up. And he's like, yeah, we're just kind of farming as normal. The problem is we don't have any way to send this stuff out. So we're just kind of stockpiling. And it's going to go bad, so this is a problem. But we're still kind of carrying on as best we can.
Yeah, I guess that's all you can do.
But yeah, that's about it at Perzel Farm. And Mum's like, oh yeah, when everything's back up and running, you should come over and we'll give you dinner on the house. Which she mentions that. I'm like, do you normally charge when Estelle comes over for dinner?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's a good point. I was like, oh, and then but when you point that out, I'm like, you know what? True.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to invite you over to dinner and I won't punch you in the face. I'm like, that was kind of assumed. You don't need to bring it up.
Now I'm concerned about their childhoods.
But yeah, so with that done, I did sort of track over to Malga Mine, first of all. Also, the thing I noticed at this point was when I was running around inside the mine, all of the, like, dust puffs from, like, the footsteps of my party were all rainbow-colored.
Yes.
Why are they rainbow-colored?
I think that's a weird lighting thing, because the same thing happens when you have the night goggles on.
Yeah, they each have like a unique color, and it almost looked like they were tied to the characters. Like Estelle's was kind of an orangey pink, Joshua's was like a light blue. So I wasn't sure if it was that, or maybe like the effect of having cloak or something on.
Huh.
I tried removing cloak and it didn't remove the effect, so I don't know if it is some part of my orbment set up like Heaven's Eye or one of those sort of combo ones.
I have no idea.
But yeah, I noticed the colored smoke, and it was just really anachronistic, especially against the
Interesting.
browns and grays of the mine.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what that's about.
If anyone knows out there, let me know which element of my equipment is doing that, because it's fun. I just don't know why it's there sometimes and not others.
Yeah, I have no idea. I wasn't even sure if that was on purpose. Yeah, we get to Malcolm Mine, and things are messy.
Yes. Landan is standing in front of the elevator down into the mines.
He's like, fuck, fuck, fuck.
And is panicking. It's like, fuck, 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 because that's the only way into the mines. We don't have, like, redundancies. That's not good mine design.
Yeah.
But everyone is stuck in the mines with the elevator stuck at the top. So there's no way to get out. There's no way to get past the elevator to even, like, run a rope down the elevator shaft or something.
Yeah.
So he's just like, can we help? And yes, we can.
Please God help is kind of his response.
Luckily, the elevator is like, the engine is on board. It's part of the elevator as opposed to an external structure. So we're able to like blue tack the ZFG to the front of the elevator console, and it mostly works.
Mostly. I like that it kind of doesn't. Like, it's super shaky.
Yeah, like previously the elevator is obviously a nice smooth descent. When we get it running with the ZFG, it's like chunking down a foot at a time. So Joshua fiddles around, gets it working, and it immediately like drops a few inches below the floor, which I really enjoy, because when he's like, okay, everybody get on quick, as the party gets on, you actually see them sort of go a bit lower, like altitude as they hit the thing. So it is dropping. It's like, we need to go. You get onto Landan. And then the elevator just goes ka-chunk, 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 in a way that would definitely give me a headache.
And when you get off, everyone in your party is like, that was horrifying. I'm terrified. I can't cope. Like, I'm going to lose my lunch.
Yeah. It honestly feels like what's actually happening there is just like releasing and re-engaging the emergency brakes over and over again.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're doing things. I'm like, how are you guys going to get out again?
Yeah.
This is not a good plan. But we get down into the mine and find out what's been going on. They were trying to permanently patch up the entrances to the monster nest that they burst through back in the first game when we were collecting the big shiny rock of Esmolus.
Long time ago, yeah.
But that happened while the orbital shutdown happened, so everything's kind of in the mix. It wasn't fully sealed, and just having it collapsed with dynamite from last time isn't enough when they are burrowing monsters who burrowed a nest in the first place.
Yep.
So as we come down, we're like, I wonder how things are going. Someone runs up and says, shit, 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 fuck, shit, fuck.
Yeah.
It turns out bad. Bad is how it's going.
Things are bad because the monsters are attacking and nobody can escape. And they don't even have lights to show them. I mean, they have a few lights, but like they don't even have that much. And they certainly don't have any like orbital lights.
The only line of defense they have at the moment is Ridge, one of the bracers who was sent up here. And we find out that he's basically doing a last stand situation.
Yeah, they really make you think he's dead. Like, they really try to make you think he might be dead.
Oh, yeah. Someone dying in a Trails game doesn't happen.
It totally does, but not this way.
Not unless it's immediately, like, plot relevant. And sorry, Ridge, you are not that important to the world. I apologize.
Not that important.
Much like the mission back in first chapter, we have to go around and find the 5 miners who are sort of scattered around the little mine map. It's just a series of fights against monster crabs, who are very easy to take down. They are nothing burgers.
They're nothing burgers. The real issue is, I mean, it's not really an issue. It's more the fact that there are miners in almost all these fights.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to protect them because they can take maybe one hit if they're lucky.
Yeah, there was the one in one of these fights, I believe, where a crab attacked him and it took out like 3/4 of his health in one strike. And I was like, well, shit.
Yeah, because they do the thing where because you're usually approaching the miner as he's being like cornered by the crabs, like the crabs are between you and the person you need to protect, which makes it a little more complicated than the typical protection battle.
Yes. After wiping out all the mini crabs and getting all the miners to sort of evacuate to the elevator to wait for us, we have to go into the actual monster nest area, which is where Ridge was making his famous last stand.
Yes.
And so they've been down here for a couple of days, it sounded like, or like an extended period of time. And Ridge has been, fighting off these crabs that entire time? Crazy.
Yes, well, they specifically say, last time I saw him, he was being swallowed up by the horde of monsters. Like, they really made it sound like they watched him die. But he's still here.
That's how you die in a zombie movie.
Yeah, but he's still here. He's like, fine. I mean, he's like, right at the last, if we'd been later, he would be dead. But, like, he's awake and still fighting. I mean, he's at his limit, but did not get murdered by a horde of monsters. He was, like, engulfed by a horde of monsters a few days ago and is still screaming and kicking, doing fine.
And this is why you equip a gladiator headband so that you can recharge your CP in a fight so you can fight off the infinite wave of crab monsters.
Yeah. Pro tips.
So Ridge passes out and it's our turn to fight all the crabs and their boss, the crab leader, who is so gross looking.
The Armored Hydra, I think he's called. He's weird.
Yeah, it's an incredibly unpleasant looking monster. I feel like the front of it looks like the front bonnet of like a classic T-model Ford, like era car.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
It's got this big kind of like grate thing in front of it. It's like an evil hentai car. No, not a fan.
Probably, that's pretty accurate description, actually, yeah. It's definitely, like, I guess it's meant to be a hydra, so it's meant to have a bunch of heads, but it looks like more like tentacles than heads.
Not into it.
No, thank you.
It's not that hard of a fight. It's armored, so it takes a bit of time to beat it down. But after we clear it, it's time to take unconscious Ridge and head out to the elevator and get upstairs again with this evil elevator ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. At which point we get warped back to Rolent, to the guild, where we're standing with Gaton, sort of registering what happened with Ina. Gaton, it's very sweet, is like gushing over Estelle's professionalism.
Yeah, how much she's grown since the first time he met her.
Yeah.
Or at least, I guess he had met her before, but like had like met her as a bracer.
It's like between like your junior bracer mission when you came and got the big shiny rock and this one, you've grown so much. You're so much more confident,
more reassuring.
And again, Estelle's is like, no, I'm not that good. I'm still learning. I'm a piece of shit. I am the garbage beneath your feet. And everyone else says, shut up. You're good. You're a B+ rank bracer. Like, get with the times, Estelle.
Yeah, deal with it, kid.
They also mentioned that Ridge is resting up and recuperating safely at the hotel.
Swanky.
I did stop in and check on him, and he doesn't really have much to say. He's just like, thanks for helping me. I'm okay. Oh, I also circled back to Esmeralda's Tower at this point to climb up and fight some more dimension bugs and got a soul orb.
Oh, yes, I did that as well. That's right. Before we did that, though, while we were wrapping up the chat with the mining chief and Ina, Cher was at my party. And Cher and Ina talk about, how, Ina will buy Cher a drink as a result for this. And now Cher's like, oh, make sure you splurge for Sunrose. And so it's like, how does every conversation between these two come back to alcohol? And Josh was like, it's an inevitability, like death and taxes. As a lawyer who deals in death and taxes, that hits close to home because I say that line like every day. I'm like, yeah, death and taxes.
Yeah, there's also a sweet line. I can't remember if it was now or back when we first stopped in at the guild, but Ina's like, oh, I feel like a proud mum, especially to you two.
Yeah.
It's nice to have both of my kids together and safe, and I'm just really proud of you. It's like, oh, Ina.
Yeah, that was sweet. She's like, I gave you your first bracer notebooks. I feel kind of like your bracer mom. It's very sweet.
Lovely. But with that all wrapped up, other things have been advancing in town.
And we have to get me to the church on time.
So I can watch someone else get married and get some ideas in my head to freak out about. We wander in as the wedding is sort of mid-ceremony, which is kind of rude.
Yeah.
They're just standing at the back of the church while they have this ceremony. We sort of catch the exchange of rings and the kiss.
Yep.
And get a little bit of reworded traditional marriage ceremony with Idios references. And then we sort of get the hint is like, hey, as soon as the ceremony's done, get outside.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? Why? Because it's time to throw the bouquet.
Shara's the one being insistent about this. She's taking it very seriously.
Oh, yeah. I love Shara in this moment. She's like, I caught her line. Everyone's sitting outside as the bride and groom come out and everyone claps. Hooray, hooray, hooray. And then Shara says, check the wind and let's get a good spot.
And it sounds like she's actually serious.
She's dead serious about catching this bouquet. Yeah. At which point, Ellie throws the bouquet. Everyone's clamoring for it. Chucks it into the mayor's house, basically.
But she's got a strong arm. She chucks it all the way over the wall outside the mayor's house. Like, she has no aim, but a great arm. She works out. Girl lifts.
She's like, haha, whoops. Well, I guess if you've been having to, like, push back against Armon to hold him at arm's length until you're ready to be married, that builds up some, like, bicep strength.
I guess so.
She piffs it over the wall into the mayor's residence, where it is not caught, but retrieved by Kitty, the maid. And she's like, what's this? It's like, oh my god, Kitty, you're going to be the next to get married. And she's like, fuck.
No, I'm not ready for that. I don't want to. She does not want it.
Shara's really disappointed. Estelle's kind of like indifferent. I would have loved to see what happened if Estelle caught it.
Oh, that would have been funny.
After that, everything wraps up. You can head into Arbend Bar where they're having the reception for the wedding.
Yes.
Everyone's hanging out. Sarah, one of the people sitting at the tables, has Gambler Jack 11 for us, finally.
Thank God.
Also, you can talk to Ida while you're in there. And she says that she wants a wedding for Argyle and Antoine.
Yeah, well, she doesn't say Antoine, but she says your man, but we know who that means.
Yeah, at which point Aryl's comment is Nya-o, which is yes, that's exactly right.
Oh, so she wants to marry Antoine.
Yeah, she wants to lock that guy down.
Wow. So she's not... I was thinking she'd have given up on him after he was such a deadbeat, but I guess she hasn't. Oh, maybe these two crazy kids can work it out.
Oh, you just can't logic away love, can you? The only thing left to do before wrapping up for this episode, it's another cross-country run.
Oh yeah, I didn't do it.
Are you ready to go to Bose? Because one thing you have absolutely no way of knowing unless you're reading a guide at this point is once you've completed all the ZFGs and
yeah,
I guess done this quest as well, back in Bose, there is a sale going on at the Bose markets.
Yep.
Because it seems like the mayor has managed to resolve the situation. They've basically reset prices to an earlier price point, and there's a bunch of new recipes for meals and stuff. And also, if you talk to Minuet at the bookstore, she's like, I don't care about sales. My stuff's always on sale. Here, have this fucking book. And she just gives you the final chapter of Gambler Jack. I'm like, I don't think you know how sales work, Minuet.
Got it. No, I saved that for next episode because I was like, I can't be bothered right now. But no, yeah, so there we got it.
Yeah, and yeah, everything is cheaper at the stores, so if you want to stock up on ingredients for recipes or like healing items or whatever.
There's also some new items, some new food items in particular as well that you can grab here.
Oh, yes, because I did note one at Katrina's confectionery store. She was the one who was like, all my confectionaries are fresh. If I don't have like fresh cream and stuff, I can't make them. She has a new recipe, a new food item for sale called Mystery Paste Plus.
Yes.
And the description is just mysterious paste. That's right, paste. Enjoy.
Yeah, very reassuring.
But you should enjoy because it heals 6,000 HP and cures all status ailments.
Yeah.
So Mystery Paste is a good one to stock up on.
Unfortunately. I feel bad for my characters, so I'm gonna force feed Paste too, but...
Just makes me think of those like treat tubes that you give to cats.
Oh yeah.
Just like squeezing it into your mouth, yeah. So I did buy a couple of mystery pastes, and I ate one right in front of her. I love the fact that every time I buy a recipe, I immediately eat it straight in front of the person who sold it to me.
Yeah, they can watch my reaction.
So could you imagine, like, Estelle runs up and is like, would you like to buy some paste? Yes, I would. Now I know how to make it.
Thanks, now I can make it for free. I'll never have to give you my money again.
Yeah. So yeah, I made that trip to Bose, got all my books, which I still have not read. One day I will. And then just in preparation for next episode, I hiked back to Garoon to cut through to Grancel when we start next episode.
All right! But then, yeah, next episode is just going to be playing to the end of the chapter. It's going to be pretty short to play, but we're going to have a lot to say, so we figured it's going to be like an hour of cutscenes, so just like grab some popcorn, watch and enjoy. A lot of really fun stuff is going to happen, and then look forward to the fact that we are bound to be talking about it for like ever. We're going to be really obnoxious about it, I'm sure. It's going to be fun.
Hell yeah, that's what we're here to do, yap about trails.
Exactly. That's why you come here.
That's what it's all about, kids. So, next week we will be finishing the remainder of Chapter 8, which is mostly story with a little bit of gameplay. So if you're playing along, it'll be a short play and then a long talk. So look forward to that.
Exactly.
So before we wrap up for the week, it is time for our TWG Community Chest.
Ooh la la.
The special chest that we open and magically reveals the name of a TWG show for us to celebrate every week.
Yeah.
This week's chest message leads us to the podcast In Sequence.
The comics podcast for everyone. This is like really cool show. There isn't anything else really like it that covers such a wide range of comics, graphic novels, manga, just the whole gamut. I think they covered like a TTRPG guidebook recently that was like illustrated.
Nice.
And that was really cool. So definitely recommend it. Also a bunch of great people on it. And their show art by Scout is so cute.
Yeah, I love that art.
It's so cute.
So pretty. And it's great. Yeah, there are definitely comics podcasts out there, but they're typically focused on either the big ones or the very small ones. And truly, with In Sequence, there's no possible way to predict what's going to come next. And it's the best part of the show.
Yes, exactly.
I really need to get back into reading comics so that I can be on the show one day. I used to read totally legally and legitimately read every comic that came out every week.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't been doing that for a while. It was, it's like Marvel and DC. It's always like, you've got to be in the running to know what's going on. You can't just jump in because there's so much backstory.
That's kind of why I never got into reading them, because there was so much back. I was like, I don't even know where you start.
Yeah, I jumped in when they did the New 52 reboot for DC, and then another reboot.
I have heard of that.
And relatively similar timing, Marvel did a bit of a sort of a reboot as well, just kind of a restart from scratch. So that's when I jumped on, and I just fell off at some point. It's crazy to look at comics and what's going on now and be like, the fuck is happening? Which is why it's much better to check out indie and queer and non-major imprint comics like they talk about on In Sequence.
Though they do talk about some big ones too. I think the first one they ever talked about was Nightwing leaping into the light or night, or leaping into something.
Yes, and I believe they've covered, oh no, maybe I'm confusing that with Can't Let It Go when they covered House of X stuff. But that's another great episode about comics. Check that out too.
Check it all out. And of course, Girl Mode has a number of episodes that are just Willa ranting about X-Men to Robin, trying to explain it. There's a few of those episodes which are great. So definitely check it all out.
So check out In Sequence and also all of those other podcasts that we mentioned.
Yes.
With that, I will close the TWG Community Chest. And thank you so much for joining us this week for another episode of Trails Through Trails. Mm-hmm. We love to have you here. We love to be here. We love to heap praise and shit on these people we love so much.
We do. And we also have passed 5,000 downloads, which happened recently, but we only just noticed it. So thank you so much to everyone who's downloaded and listened or told a friend about it or popped up and sent us an email or messaged us in the Discord or on socials or anything. Just thank you all so much. It's so fun to know that so many people are sickos.
It's amazing, yeah.
Our specific brand of sickos. A lot of fandoms, sometimes the worst people are the ones who you see the most of, and we're definitely not in the most typical lane for like a JRPG-centric fan creator type thing in terms of being just extremely queer and left, and so it's lovely to know that there are so many people who share our sensibilities and our love of Trails.
Yeah.
And enjoy our ridiculous long-running gags about this game.
Yeah, thank you for coming along on this journey. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. We definitely saw a bump in listenership when the remake came out.
Yes.
Which is wonderful. Oh, we didn't even mention at the start of this episode. It's been confirmed that second chapter remake is coming next year before September. Holy shit.
Which also, apparently it looks like Horizons 2 is not coming out in Japanese until 2027, which
will be simultaneous.
I've seen people who are like fairly reliable say that they are predicting this means that they're looking at simultaneous release for Horizons 2, which sucks for all the Japanese players who are going to have a really long wait after what I understand to be a big cliffhanger, but is really exciting for us because that would be so cool.
Welcome to our world, friend-san.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, simultaneous release for second chapter remake is coming next year before September, which could mean that it's in September, let's be real. That's usually what these things mean.
Could be by September, could be before, yeah.
But it's coming. We'll get to see all of this in HD a second time. I'm so excited.
We will! Oh my god, Godie's locked in for next year.
Yeah, that's perfect. We'll have second chapter remake coming out late next year, followed by early the year after Horizon 2.
Hopefully, yeah.
It'll be a long time before we catch up to that season, but we are getting there, because it's almost the end of the second game. Crazy.
It is, and my review that I was threatening to write about Possessors is going to be up now, so you can find that in the show notes. I wrote a bit about, it's less of a review and more of a reflection on some of the themes that I thought it tackled in really interesting ways. So go check that out.
Yeah, so check out that piece by Lex, and if you want to hear more about Possessors, check out last episode, where we talked about it for 10-15 minutes.
And go pick up Demonschool, which we talked about earlier this episode, because it should be out at the time that this episode is up, and it's fantastic. It's so much fun.
And hey, if any more queer demon games come out, you know who's going to be reviewing it. It's us.
Yeah, send them over. Send over those codes, because that's our brand now.
All that to say, thank you for joining us. Next week, we will be covering the remainder of Chapter 8 in Part 3 of this chapter, and then it'll be into the final chapter, the run to the end.
Yes, and I'm going to have to figure out how we're dividing that up because I have not figured that out yet. I'm going to have to do some research and some planning.
I appreciate your work every time. It's only one more game until I'll actually be able to contribute to that conversation in any capacity. And then we can share the load a bit.
Hey, it's okay. We're all good. I'm just glad that we could share the experience of this game because it's a delight.
Well, we have to go now so that we can do that next week. So until next week, I've been Matt.
And I've been Lex.
And we will see you out on the trail.
Bye!
TWG, the worst garbage, online.